Hello, my name is Bill Haley, and this is part of Haley2024, the movement's government reform ideas. So this video is going to be on the three big ideas I have. Three Haley2024 reforms, and let's see if we can take each one of them on their own. So let's look at them. Separating powers and authorities into 30 sectors. So let's say we don't change anything else other than we multiply every government into times 30. We each give them 1/30th of the power. So we give one of them environmental powers, one of them education powers, one of them power over financial institutions, one over insurance, one over healthcare, one over all the different ones. You can look at other videos about how I break what the 30 are. That's not important right now. But let's say that's the idea we're talking about. Police has its own sector. But we take and we divide so that we multiply every government. So 30 Congresses, 30 governors, 30 House of Representatives, 30 House of Delegates, 30 Justice Departments. One for each. We don't increase the amount of power. We divide it. We give each one its specific authorities and responsibilities. So we're not adding to or subtracting away powers of government power. We're just giving top-level elected leadership control. Now, you can see how if we have to elect 30 governors and 30 presidents, it could be a problem. Another reform is going to help that out. I think if we do it all on its own, we can still handle that. We're going to need more party participation, a lot more party vetting, a lot more groups vetting these people. If you're going to have a whole bunch of people running for president, 30 different presidential offices, each one with its own thing, at least the people who are running are probably going to be very specialized in that. So 30 over the top of the prison system. They're going to probably have a lot of experience in the prisons. 30 people over top of the military. A lot of people with that responsibility or with that type of experience running for that office. Right now, how many presidents or governors do we have that have no experience in, let's say, prison policy or environmental policy? But we have them as a top person. From now on, if we split everybody in 30 sectors, what we can do is have a very focused election just on who's going to do the best labor policy, who's going to do the best insurance, who's going to do the best healthcare policy, and we are laser focused on who we're voting for, and the politicians who are running for those offices, legislative, that means the Congress, the House of Delegates, whatever, they're laser focused, and they came from that industry. They have experience in the industry. Most likely, somebody who has a lot of experience in prisons, they're not going to be running for the Environmental Protection Agency president, governor, legislature, or whatever. They're going to be running for the prison. Everybody's going to be running based off of their expertise. So, obviously, we're going to need a lot of vetting. Who's conservative, Heritage Foundation, or Brookings Institute, Republican Party, Democrat Party. A lot of vetting going on there. But my next reform is going to help that out a little bit too. But first, on its own, could we separate all government power into 30 sectors? So the president over top of the military is not the same president as over top of education or family law. All of them are separated out. Okay, let's go to the next one. How to pick representatives. So we already saw how that might become a problem in that last reform, separating all 30. How do we know who to vote for president, governor, state legislature? If there's so many, there's just too many people to know. Yes, we could have Republican Party, Heritage Foundation, and Brookings Institute. We could have all those people really vetting people. But what about this? How to pick it? We have competitive representative agencies. Let's say this on its own. Whether we split it into 30 sectors or not, let's not even worry about that right now. Let's talk about our current system. Let's say we have 12 different political parties. Libertarian Party, Democrat Party, Reform Party, Republican, I said maybe I said it already. Anyway, Libertarian, Democrat, Republican, Green Party, Socialist Party, all of them. You can have a whole bunch of new ones come up, Constitution Party, but then nobody's wasting their vote, because first thing you do is you select. You don't elect, you select your party. Then within your party, just the members of your party, then they vote for the best representative. Just within the members of your party, your competitive representative agency, they send representatives, or they vote on representatives, or maybe it's proportional representation. So you first select your political party or competitive representative agency, and then they either take power as a proportional vote, or they vote for you. They research everything and then they vote for you. You see, if you put my first two split into 30 sectors, and then this one, how it could be, how this one will help out the last one, how this one will help out the splitting into 30 sectors. So that's tremendously important. But if we take it all on its own, currently right now, whether it's for governor or legislature or whatever, having a political party that you join, and now within your political party, you can vote for the top leader if your political party wants you to do that. If you want to join one that says, I'm going to have my vote within that, or you can join one that says, I already have one picked out, you join me and you're supporting, let's say, Ted Cruz or Bernie Sanders, or whoever in the legislative branch, state, local, federal, it doesn't matter. We already have somebody picked out, or you come with us and then you're going to be able to individually pick. There's benefits to both sides. So you see, having competitive representative agency, whether it's proportional or you just take your you give your representative agency your vote, then it has more proportional vote. It might have 1.5% versus 1.6%. You know what I'm talking about. Decimal points goes out as far as it needs to, so every vote matters. When you select, your selected competitive governing agency or representative agency has a little bit more if you join them. If you switch, one loses a little bit, one gains a little bit, and every vote matters. Every selection matters. Anyway, there's a lot of ways that can happen, and you can look at how I allow it to happen in the CRA structure, but that in itself is a lot better than the current election in November, because you first pick your selected representative agency, and then they either that is either assigned through proportional representation, or they vote. So let's keep on going. Now, competitive regulatory agencies. These are where the biggest government reform is. This is my government reform where I'm governed by the governing agency I want to be governed by. My neighbor is governed by the governing agency they want to be governed by. It's called competitive regulatory agency, competitive governing agency. Those are the same thing. And they also are competitive representative agencies, where they send representatives up to the next level. But what's the most important about this is that CRAs, competitive regulatory agencies, only govern their members. So you can become a member of any one of them, and there's be roughly a dozen of them, but then they govern you. My neighbor has them governing them. There'll be I have 30 sectors I separated everything into. 6 of them have primary authority at the representative level, because it is a societal oversight type of role, where hardly any spending happens in those 6 sectors. Very small number of spending. You don't have a lot of spending going on there. The other 24 have primary authority at the CRA level, competitive regulatory agency, competitive governing agency. So if you just do this all on their own, let's say we don't have the split between the 30 sectors. Let's say we don't even have the representative like that, but we just have competitive governing agencies. I pick Ted Cruz and you pick Bernie Sanders. Somebody else picks AOC and somebody else picks Barack Obama, somebody else picks Donald Trump. And they all have a team around them. Legislative, executive, judicial. And I'm controlled by the people I want to be controlled by. Whether it's Mike Lee, Rand Paul, whether it's Bernie Sanders, AOC, whether it's Schumer, whether it's Adam Schiff, whoever you want to go with. You get to be governed by who you want to be governed by. Now, liberals will join together. Conservatives will join together. Most likely, Heritage Foundation will have a group and a Brookings Institute will have a group. But they will govern you. Because there's no reason why governance can't happen on an individual basis of just their members. Let's take family law, for instance. You have 50 different family law state organizations right now. You can move to any state and you can have a different set of laws and regulations dealing with family law. And whatever state you belong to, they regulate you with family law. Well, there's no reason that within the state of Virginia or the state of Wyoming that you cannot join and the regulatory agency only governs their members. Another regulatory agency, governing agency, only governs their members. So you see how that could be a huge benefit because you have different ways of being governed. Some people don't want to be governed in a conservative manner. Some people don't want to be governed in a liberal manner. Some people hate the way Bernie Sanders wants to do things. Some people hate the way Rand Paul wants to do things. This is not about whether liberalism or socialism or conservatism or libertarian is a better way of going. Everybody picks their own, and they live within those. And it's within that group. Let's talk about the each sector. Then we'll go into the 30 sectors. Within each sector, you see here on the screen, you have 12 competing governing agencies. We're going to call them CRAs, competitive regulatory agencies. They have their full governmental units. Each one of these are full governmental units. Executive, legislative, and judicial powers. So if it's within the family law, then they deal with family law. Legislatively, executively, and judicially. Through the courts. On the other side over here, it's extremely valuable when we have competitive regulatory agencies that we have very high quality information. And you never get high quality information if you just have one group, because that's a lot of power. If you have 12 different groups with a different philosophy of how to rate, what's more important? What's important to give high ratings on? When should you give low ratings? So it's highly important to know. So 12 distinct rating agencies. And then they're given high quality information. Again, they're full governmental units too. Now their main product is information, but they still need a legislative body, executive body, judicial bodies. It's not less important than the CRAs, but the quality information is super important. Now let's go through the 30 sectors real quick. Now you can't see it very good on the screen here, so let's keep on going. I have it spread out a little bit more. All government welfare goes away. We go to a charity system. That's in 5 different sectors. So we see how important it is that we separate it. There's going to be checks and balances in between each one. Foreign protection system. These are the 5 that are at the federal level, with primary authority at the federal level. The other 25 are primary authority at the state level. But we separate it. The chief diplomat, the secretary of state, if you will, that's a top guy. Top commander-in-chief, a different guy. Totally different guy. The top of the diplomats is not the same as the top of the commander-in-chief. Currently we do. The president is top of both. I want separated. We got the military, major free enterprise. Military capability system, funding mechanism, brings the role of prices into the military tremendously. Military authorization is a checks and balance system, societal oversight role. Violent crime split into 5 sections, from the definition of violent crime, the courts, the law enforcement, which is the cops, and then the prisons and corrections. We also have a checks and balance societal oversight role in there as well, all representative control. You have 15 others. I'm not going to go through all those right now. I definitely have a video on each one of these. So, very important slide here. No one person can serve in a position of an official authority in more than one sector out of the 30. You have to pick whether you're in the federal, state, or local. You can't be in more than one. You have to pick whether you're in the legislative, executive, or judicial. Can't be in more than one. You have to be on the CRA side or the rating system side. I'm sorry. The CRA side and the rating system side have the same number of positions. Different type of positions, different roles, but they're checks and balances on each other. Though if you're on the CRA, you're either the base unit, the CRA, the representative level, which are the sector board, or the parent sector board. Same thing with the rating system side. The base unit is a RA. They send representatives to the rating system. You can be in one of those, or you can be in the parent rating system. All of them with very different responsibilities. So, everything's very easy to find on my website, and you see how the three main reforms I have there can work together very good, but each one can have their own benefits. Each one benefits greatly. Put all three of them together, and they really blossom into a lot more than just what one can do on their own. You see how one split into 30 sectors can cause a havoc in too many elections going on. But you see how my next one, where representatives are chosen but through competitive representative agencies, can solve that problem and even solve what can be a standalone. But also, the more important one is competitive regulatory agencies. You are governed by the competitive regulatory agency that you want to be governed by. And you get to, within the membership of a CRA, you get to pick the leadership of that CRA. Anyway, there's a lot more videos out there on this, a lot more on my website. So, until the next video.